Where do you dine in Atlantic City?
I love Girasol in Atlantic City. I think one of the great things about Revel opening is it's brought in so many new restaurants, so there's a lot of variety, and there's always a bunch of great spots. I think at Borgata. I love Fornaletto. I think that's one of the really fun restaurant spots in all of Atlantic City.
Which clubs or bars do you enjoy?
Boogie Nights, I think, is perfect for my demographic with the 70s and 80s music. But, you know, I think it's also important to understand what's going on at the competition. I love Mix and Murmur. I haven't had a chance to get to Revel's new nightclub. The other great spot that I love to hang out and have a drink and listen to live music is the Gypsy Bar at Borgata. I think is a great night spot.
Very good.
Tell us something about Atlantic City that most people don't know.
This place has become so legend that it used to be a secret, but now it's probably not anymore, is Chef Bowles. I think it's a really neat experience, and it hasn't changed in, oh gosh, 25, 30 years. And if you can get in there, and for somebody that's never been there, it's a once-in-a-lifetime experience, and I think that it's one of Atlantic City's treasures. I think that's really a great spot.
What's the best place to take a date?
As far as outside the casinos, again, I think Chef Bowles, Girasol, Knife and Fork is also outstanding. So I think that that's one of the great things about Atlantic City. There's so much variety in and outside of the casinos.
What's your favorite place to get a drink?
You know what? It depends on the circumstances. If it's summertime, obviously one of the beach bars in Atlantic City. If you're going out to watch a game with a bunch of buddies, then one of the sports bars, Damn Good Sports Bar here. If you're out on a date or having a drink before going to a meal, again, there's a ton of options, but I think the Gypsy Bar, the B Bar in Borgata are really great. The Atrium is another example of that.
Where do you like to get sushi?
I love sushi, and I think we're blessed here at the Tropicana. I think we have the best spot for sushi at Finn. Yeah, Finn, sit at the bar or in the little lounge area. I think the guys in there do a fabulous job, and never disappoints.
Where do you recommend having a bachelor or bachelorette party?
And I think that certainly Borgata is a great spot for that. Harrah's, it seems like with the pool, is another example of that. Revel, I'm sure, is going to become another option for the ladies. And again, I have to mention the Tropicana. I think that we have a lot of variety here with the Quarter and Providence and Boogie Nights and Tangos, and we always have a bunch of ladies here each and every weekend and having a great time. So I think there's a number of options throughout the city.
Where do you like to shop?
I hate to shop, but if I were to shop, I think the Walk. I'm more of a frugal type person, so I think the shops at the Walk are when I do need something, that's typically where I end up going.
What are the best spots to take the kids?
Obviously, the beach and boardwalk, first and foremost in the summertime, it would be the logical choice. Steel Pier with the amusements and the rides. Gardner's Basin has some fun things down there. We have a small little aquarium there, as well as the lighthouse that kids could go up in. And then here again at Tropicana, we have the IMAX Theater. So depending upon the show that we're playing at the time, is also a great spot for one of those rainy days where you can't do the outside stuff.
What is the biggest misconception about Atlantic City that you hate?
I think that there's this perception that it's not safe, and I think that that's way overblown, number one. And I don't think that people realize how much fun and how much there is to do here and how much variety. Actually, a couple of years ago, I had an opportunity to work away from Atlantic City for 3 years, and I remember bringing people here from Cincinnati the first few times, and I almost had to take them kicking and screaming. But once they got here and they experienced it, they left here with a very favorable impression. I see that over and over. When people actually come here and experience all that Atlantic City has to offer, they leave here with a great impression. But their perception before they get here is that it's dirty and it's unsafe, and I think that that's far from the truth.
Why should people come to Atlantic City as opposed to other places with gambling?
So when you come to Atlantic City, you have 12 options, all within a couple miles of each other, number one. Number two, those regional competitors don't have all the non-gaming amenities that we have in Atlantic City. A lot of them don't even have hotels. All the literally hundreds of dining options and bars and nightclubs, the shops, the spas, all the shows, and so many things in and around Atlantic City outside of the casinos, here in Atlantic City and in the whole area. I mean, we have dozens of world-class golf courses. I just think that there's so much more variety and so much that goes beyond gaming that make Atlantic City a great destination.
Tell us about a night in AC that you'll never forget.
I remember going to see the Rolling Stones at Boardwalk Hall, and that's the only opportunity I ever had to see the Stones, and that's something that I'll certainly never forget.